Happy Monday, everybody. Jim over here at Sandison Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Just wanted to show you what a real radon mitigation system should look like and what you should expect out of your radon mitigation contractor. I think the very first and foremost thing that you have to understand is radon systems that are being installed for mitigation need to achieve four primary licensing points. Point one, you need to be NRPP certified. That's first and foremost so you can understand the radioactive material you're dealing with. Second, you should also be licensed as a master plumber because you are touching and affecting the storm system that you're working on. Third, you should be a master electrician or a minimum of a journeyman electrician because the company that you're having install your system is also touching the power that's installing the primary fan. And fourth, you should also be licensed for HVAC because, again, you are working with different aspects of, let's say, ventilation, and you should know how many CFM your fan is going to require to remove the radon mitigation from your home, or excuse me, to remove the radon gases from the subsoil drain line to remove it from your home. If you're not competent and licensed in all four of those areas, you should not be touching a radon system or installing a radon mitigation system. There are companies out there that call themselves radon mitigation companies. However, the incompetency there is absolutely ridiculous. That's why we go back on so many radon systems and have to make repairs when the radon systems are unable to meet a certain amount of picocuries to mitigate radon effectively. So here's our radon system and what it looks like. So in this specific case, our radon mitigation system has an ECM motor fan. This fan specifically is a modulating fan. So I can ramp this up and ramp this down based upon soil conditions, also based upon the level of radon mitigation that I would like to achieve. This fan on average runs about $900 to $1,000. That may seem like a lot, but when you're normally paying for a cheap $200 or $300 fan, you are not getting an ECM motor. And remember, this fan's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So why wouldn't we want some sort of return on investment and have a radon fan that is energy efficient? So that's why we go with it. Now, secondly, you'll see that this fan has the ability to plug directly into an outlet if you choose to. In this case, we're going to disconnect that and we're actually going to pull a direct power line to the inside in the basement near the sump pump area. It is venting above the roof line. There is not a higher roof line than this at this point in time, and we're about 12 to 14 inches above that roof line. And we decided to add a 90 on there just to kind of offset any kind of rain and things of that nature that may come in. So choosing a radon mitigation contractor is not difficult. When you call Sandison Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, we are NRPP certified. We are also licensed fully for plumbing, heating, cooling, mechanical, and electrical. Okay, now we're at our installation area. At this point in time, because our radon mitigation fan is off, I will show you where our manometer sits. Our manometer is perfectly level. In a few moments, when we plug our fan back in, I'll show you how we achieve at least 2 inches, inch and a half to 2 inches of water column. We could have actually, in this specific install, achieved almost 4 inches of water column had we chosen to take it to that level. But again, we don't need to waste more energy and create more of a problem than we need to. We also constantly now monitor our radon levels. Right now, with our Siren Pro Series 4 safety siren system, it can show you we went from 17 to 21 picocuries at max to about 17 on average. We are now at 0.4. One thing that you would always want to do, you always want to make sure that your radon levels are constantly being monitored. It's no different than having a carbon monoxide in your detector or a detector in your home. If you want to be safe, you would always install something to monitor where your levels are, because at some point in time, if anything changes in the system, you want to be alerted to that. And that's why the Safety Siren Pro Series 4 off of Amazon, you can purchase it directly off of there. We don't get any kickbacks or anything of that nature. I wish we did, but we do not. So the thought process is all of our customers use this device to constantly monitor their radon mitigation levels and to make sure that we've actually achieved what we said we were going to do. unlike these other fake radon companies out there that don't really give the time of day for constant monitoring afterwards. They just put a system in and say, oh yeah, you're good to go. That's not true. Next, the final part of the installation. Let's take a look. In this specific case, we have our completely sealed system. Now you'll notice, more than likely, your radon system does not look like this. Why? Because the incompetency that is out here in the Michigan area. They use these fake plexiglass lids that absolutely do nothing for you. Here, what we're doing is we have a primary lid, or what I would like to call a top hat, that bolts to the floor. Underneath it, we use a very specialized sealant that actually seals it from the inside. This is actually now watertight. Even if water came all the way up inside the sump pump area, it would never overflow because the watertight sealant that we have between here is not going to allow water to penetrate or permeate. This lid here it comes off, and it allows us to now be able to service your sump pump and your water-powered backup pump. Unfortunately, the Guardian water-powered backup pump does not work with this type of an installation. The nice thing is we also have a sight glass. So if we want to see into our pit, unfortunately we can't see too well right now because I don't have an additional light, but if we want to see in our pit, we can. And that's why that sight glass is there, and it's very important. Then, in this specific case, we have a separate discharge line that's going to go up and out for our water-powered backup sump pump. Our primary pump is tied in. This, again, is our vent for our radon, and that's pretty much the system as it stands. Now, a lot of people don't realize, but you must always have a RPZ device like this protecting your potable water within the home. If you have a water-powered backup sump pump and you do not have this device installed, you should really check and either A, give us a call here at Sandison Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Our website is www.sandison.co, and you can reach out to us and ask us any questions you may have. But an RPZ is always necessary. You also need the license for cross connection and backflow prevention to install this. So you have to have an ASSE license to install this type of a device. And you really should be a licensed plumber to doing any of this stuff to begin with. So it kind of gives you an idea. Then here's our system. We have it completely supported, going all the way up, and then it penetrates out, and then you guys have already seen how it looks once it gets outside. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to install what we would call our another style water-powered backup sump pump. This other system does not require to be installed in the pit. It actually is installed outside of the pit, which gives us a lot more freedom and allows us to be able to work a little bit more efficiently in all. And that one is going to be our Zoller 540 Flex pump, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is our Zoller 540 Flex, horizontal or vertical installation. In this specific case, we're going to probably be going with a vertical installation above the pit. That's going to allow us to install without really running into any issues. So there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, reach out to Sandison Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Again, our number is 248-453-1227, and we can always assist if you have any technical questions. And thanks for watching this quick video on what radon mitigation should look like, how to choose a proper contractor. Again, remember, keeping in mind that any radon company that is installing radon mitigation should have the following licenses. 1, they should have a plumbing license at minimum. 2, an electrical license because they are touching electrical and installing electrical. And 3rd, last but not least, they should also have some sort of mechanical license so they can understand airflow. And 4th, we also want to have that NRPP certification. That certification shows that you understand what you're dealing with when it comes to radon mitigation. It helps you also understand what the picocuries mean as far as the translation of what that means for your health and safety. And that's about it, guys. But thank you for watching. Have a great day, and thank you again for choosing Sandison Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. We always appreciate the business, and thank you for watching. Push a like on this video if you wouldn't mind, just so that it can get out to more people looking to actually become informed on radon mitigation. Thanks again, and please share this video.